Hello, what's up guys, Almighty Anime here, and welcome to another video. Today I'll be covering the top 10 strongest Bankai in Bleach 1000 Year Blood War, and be warned, there are manga spoilers. For those who do not know, a Bankai is the final release of a Soul Reaper's Zanpakuto, which involves the user receiving a buff or gaining an ultimate ability. In order to rank the Bankais in the 1000 Year Blood War arc, the list will be divided into two sections, AP and hacks, due to the many factors that play a part in how strong a Bankai is. AP will stand for the attack power, which means the raw strength of a Bankai without factoring in its abilities. Meanwhile, hacks will stand for how strong or broken a Bankai's abilities are. So in summary, I'll rank 5 based on attack power and 5 based on hacks. Now I really want to hear your opinion and whether or not you agree with some of the placements on this list. If you have any suggestions or why any of the abilities should be put higher, feel free to comment. Now starting with AP, attack power, the first one on the list is without a doubt Ichigo's true Zangetsu Bankai. The reason for this is because it was the only Bankai to threaten Watch and oppose him, causing him to use the Almighty to break Ichigo's Zanpakuto, rendering his Bankai useless. That alone puts him at the top of the list despite not having any other feats with his true Bankai, because being able to threaten Watch, who is the strongest antagonist in the series, being nigh omnipotent and nigh omniscient, allowing him to perceive and alter the future is a feat in itself. Watch even shows his respect to Ichigo and calls his Bankai frightening, which is why he had it destroyed. Okay, in second place is the 1st Division's Captain Yamamoto and his Bankai Zanka no Tachi, the Blade of the Remanent Flame. When it comes to attack power, you have to include his Bankai because it definitely is the most destructive one on the list. In his Bankai, Yamamoto condenses all of his flames and heat into his blade, making it become enhanced with 15 million degrees of heat and is able to burn anything out of existence if it is slashed by his blade, as the heat is the same as the sun's core. Now in third is Kenpachi's unnamed Bankai. And this is here because in terms of how far raw strength goes, this is the best in the entire series, with the most accurate way to describe Kenpachi is him being a powerhouse. He deserves his spot due to his transformation into an Oni-like creature wielding a rough cleaver that gives him an immense boost in his strength, range, and cutting power of his blade. He was so damn strong in his new Bankai that he blew off his own arm because of how powerful his strikes were and how his body wasn't yet ready to handle the strength of his new Bankai. As far as I'm concerned, Kenpachi's Bankai definitely deserves his place here. In 4th place is Byakuya's Zenbon Zakura Kageyoshi, or otherwise known as the Vibrant Scape of 1,000 Cherry Blossoms. This Bankai is a larger, more powerful version of his Shikai, which consists of millions of tiny little blades as small as cherry blossom leaves. With the ability being an all-rounded fighter that can attack and defend simultaneously with room for versatility in his kit, he could focus on defense or focus on attack in exchange for the other. However, his raw attack power comes from his final ability called Final Scape that involves all of his millions of small blades condensing into one blade for one immensely powerful strike to one-shot his opponents. The reason this is 4th is due to the fact that his Bankai has the potential to overwhelm opponents with his sheer number of blades. Lastly is Black Ropes of Ruination Armor Repulsion Rope Raiment, which is the true Bankai of Sanjin Komamura, which he sacrificed his heart in order to obtain. His true Bankai is similar in stature to his original one, however the armor is removed to reveal a devil-like appearance that is Komamura's own embodiment of wrath and thirst for revenge after the death of Yamamoto. In this form, he is immortal and gains immense speed and power, being able to easily cleave anything in half, and despite its giant appearance, can move without being seen. However, his powers wear off shortly and he reverts back into a normal wolf due to the sacrifice of his heart. Before moving on to the other half of this list, one honorable mention I want to give is the Soifon's Bankai Jakuho Raikoben Hornet Thunder Whip, which is literally a bazooka that boasts incredible destructive power and definitely checks off the AP aspect of this list. Now moving on to hacks, we'll rank the most broken Bankai abilities in 1000 Year Blood War, starting with the first one on the list being Ichibe's Shirofude Ichimonji, or White Brush One Written Character. With this Bankai ability, he is able to give or change the name of whatever he touches by writing kanji on them, which alters their characteristics. An example of this was used against Hwatch, where Ichimonji was used to change his name to Black Ant, giving Hwatch the powers of an ant. So basically powerless. The potential of this ability is incredible, and so many words can be used to buff allies and weaken opponents. Now, in second is Shunsui with his Bankai, Katen Kyokotsu Karamatsu Shinju, and I kid you not, the English translation, Flower Crazed Heaven Bone Spirit Withered Pine Love Suicide, which is one of the strongest Bankais in the whole series, with the ability being a double-edged sword that can kill Shunsui if not careful. When activated, anyone in his vicinity, allies or enemies, enter his domain of Ryatsu, where everybody must follow the rules of the imaginary story. The story being about a man who wounded his partner and committed suicide, which gives his Bankai 4 acts according to the story. In the first act, everyone in the vicinity will suffer from the same wounds inflicted on one another. In the second act, all opponents that Shunsui is fighting will bleed profusely. In the third act, Shunsui's vicinity turns into a watery landscape similar to being in the middle of the ocean, where the Ryatsu of everyone gets continuously drained and whoever runs out of Ryatsu dies by drowning. In the fourth and last act of the story, Shunsui sheaths his Zanpakuto and manifests a thread of white string that he wraps around the opponent's head, causing them to be decapitated, resulting in instant death. In third place is Rose's Bankai Kinshara Butodan, which in my opinion is a watered down version of Shinsui's Bankai, in the sense that this Bankai relies on music to create physical illusions that trick an opponent into thinking it is real. The Bankai takes on the form of 2 large hands with a conducting baton that floats above Rose, and summons many golden figures with petal-like protrusions for a face that are named the Dancers of Death. His ability gives him the power to influence his opponent's hearts by making them think his music is affecting them. So far, only 2 songs have been revealed, with the third one yet to be used due to the Bankai's weakness of needing to hear it. The first song, called Sea Drift, has his puppets surround his enemy and spin around them to constrict them and make them unable to breathe due to the illusion of the music, making them think they are trapped in a whirlpool of water. His second song, called Prometheus, has his puppets set his opponent on fire, and due to the illusion of the music, causing the person affected to feel an excruciating amount of pain. The third song, unfortunately, is not used due to Rose's opponent destroying his own eardrums so that he does not hear the music, therefore is unaffected by the illusion. In fourth is Toshiro's completed Grand Crimson Lotus Ice Ring. After having the petals on the back of him all break in his base Bankai, he transforms into his complete form, where he becomes matured and enters his Bankai's full form. In his completed form, he can flash freeze anything with a simple gesture from his hand, or he can use his blade to slash anything and it will also turn into ice. Not to mention, anything or anyone that touches him will also be frozen. One thing to note is that anything that he freezes will have their properties or abilities negated as well. His ability in this form, called 4-World Freeze, allows him to charge up for 4 seconds and freeze all matter in front of him. This Bankai is difficult to deal with due to the fact that anything you throw at him will be frozen, and the only real damage that can be done will have to wait after his Bankai ends. In 5th place is Kisuke's Kanon Biraki Benehime Aratame, which takes the form of a giant puppet-like woman who lingers over Kisuke. The ability of his Bankai allows him to deconstruct or reconstruct anything in his vicinity. Using this, he was able to fix his broken eyes and enhance his arm to become stronger. This ability is similar to One Piece's Room, making it a very dangerous ability if used correctly, because this Bankai is an all-rounder with its ability to heal, buff, and attack. Kisuke can even deconstruct buildings and obstacles to allow passage through them, and although not proven yet, he could most likely reconfigure his opponent's body to weaken them. Before finishing off this video, The honorable mention goes to Rukia's Bankai Haka no Tagame due to the fact that she has a wide area of effect Bankai that brings her surroundings to a temperature of absolute zero. Rukia can effectively one-shot her opponents with little to no difficulty. However, if someone were to survive her Bankai and withstand her absolute zero, then she would be left vulnerable and in turn, she would be one-shotted instead. That is it for the list, guys. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to comment down below what you would change in this tier list and why. For example, should someone else be in this tier list, or should someone have placed higher? Tell me what you think down below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Almighty Anime. Till next time.